Good morning. Happy New Year to everyone out there. Welcome to the Sean Farrell podcast. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ is Lord. And let's get right into it. So it just didn't feel right to come back midweek. It just didn't feel right to come back midweek. Felt unusual. It just felt more better to come back on the first Monday of the new year. It just felt better to come back on the first Monday of the new year. And so, yes, let's get it going. So, there was I saw all this while I was away. There was a cop who died by suicide. I can't believe I didn't write her name. Hold on. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Unprepared as I am. Yeah. Just a wee bit, though. Just a wee bit. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So there was a cop by the name of Ashley Stoneburner. Okay? Ashley Stoneburner. She was a cop and she died by suicide. Okay? And what makes it even more heartbreaking is that she died by suicide on Christmas Eve. Okay. She was a member of the West Yellowstone Police Department. Let me see. Yeah. The West Yellowstone Police Department. Died by suicide on Christmas Eve. And from seeing that, thought about what about mental health for cops? Okay, I've actually talked to a cop before. Actually talked to a cop who said that she struggles with her mental health, but she struggled with her mental health before becoming a cop, but after she became a cop, the mental health struggles intensified even more. And so that's where this topic came from. Mental health and cops. Okay. Suicide rates for cops are between 150 and 200. In 2022, law enforcement suicide was the highest since 2019, 170. Okay. In 2022, law enforcement suicide was the highest since 2019 at 170. Now at 2023, that number came down to 122. Okay. The risk of depression and police officers, cops experience depression at nearly double the rate of the general population, at 12% of police officers reporting depression compared to 6.8 for everyone else. The demands of the job, irregular work hours, emotional toll of traumatic events, depression goes untreated in law enforcement due to the stigma around seeking help. Okay. Which often leads to suicide. Let me just say, this to the police departments here in the surrounding Memphis area: MPD, Shelby County Sheriffs, Germantown, Arlington, Cordova, Bartlett. Your life matters, okay? Don't be afraid to seek help. Your life matters. What's the saying? Blue lives matter. Yeah, blue lives matter. Um, now I know the lost my train of thought. Anyway, yeah. So, um, to all the law enforcement in the surrounding Memphis area, Shelby County Sheriff's, MPDs, Germantown, Bartlett, Arlington, Cordova, Millington. Blue lives matter, and your mental health matters too. Don't be afraid to seek help. Don't be afraid to call 988. Okay. My train of thought just came back to me. So, and what makes it even harder for law enforcement is that we're living in a time where they are demonized by everyone. Okay. What makes it hard is they're demonized by everyone. And that just adds to the stress level of trying to do their jobs. Okay. Cops are reluctant to acknowledge feelings of depression because they're going to be perceived as weak or unfit to work. Lack of mental health resources for law enforcement, for the law enforcement community. Many of them suffer in silence. It can affect their ability to perform their job, maintain their personal relationships, shift work schedules, worked in public safety, which can lead to health concerns, cardiovascular issues, diabetes, obesity. Trauma also plays a role on cops' mental health, PTSD, anxiety, depression, further isolate officers. It can contribute to mental health decline. Unresolved trauma over time can lead to helplessness, emotional numbness, suicidal ideation. The law enforcement culture is seen as toughness, emotional stoicism. Can make it difficult for officers to express their emotional burdens or to seek help. Let me tell you, don't be afraid to seek help. To all the people working in law enforcement, don't be afraid to seek help. Don't be afraid to call 988, okay? We're here for you, okay? Hypervigilance. Cops are often taught to be aware of their surroundings, anticipate threats, can carry over to off-duty times, often affects the ability to mentally rest when they are off the clock. Heightened state of awareness for dangerous situations can also take a toll on their mental health, chronic stress, anxiety, shift work, lack of sleep, headaches, insomnia, psychological burnout, emotional detachment, difficulty in maintaining personal relationships over time. The cumulative effects can erode an officer's well-being, risk of depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. Prolonged stress response and its impact on officers. Chronic stress can have a negative effect mentally, physically. Can lead to stuff like hypertension and heart disease. Officers struggle to find ways to relax and recover, are often in constant fight or flight mode from prolonged stress. Maladaptive coping skills, substance abuse, emotional withdrawal, isolation from support systems, inability to manage stress, burnout, emotional exhaustion, increasing the likelihood of depression or suicidal ideation. Task force on the 21st century policing, proactive mental health programs, regular mental health check-ins, wellness training, having access to stress management resources. Okay. Counseling peer support um, peer support problems, prevents issues of prolonged stress. Peer peer support programs, I should say, prevents issues of prolonged stress, addressing hypervigilance through mindfulness training and stress management techniques, um, trauma informed care, PTSD um, care, implementing trauma informed care and mental health services after critical incidents can help mitigate the long term effects of repeated trauma. Um, the hope is fewer officers will suffer in silence, and departments will see a reduction in suicide rates and mental health crisis. Okay, so okay, yeah. So to everybody in law enforcement, cops, don't be afraid to reach out for help. Okay, don't be afraid to reach out for help. Okay. Um, we have had cops who have called into the 988 line. Okay, we have had cops who called into the 988 line seeking help. Okay, blue lives matter. Your life matters. Your mental health matters. Okay, so to all my people in law enforcement, don't be afraid to seek help. We're here for you 24/7. Okay, don't host a huffin. If something is weighing on you, don't be afraid to call 988. Okay, we're here. We're here for you. Okay. Um. So there was a judge. There was a judge. Um. Who works in the law field. Um. He was a judge, and his name was Steve Yakel, if I said that right. Stephen Yakel. Stephen Yakel. Yakel. Um, he ended his life by suicide in the courtroom. Mm. Um, Self-inflicted. Judge Yakel, he was a state court judge. Um, and he was alone by himself at the time of the incident. Um, Earlier in the month, Yakel attempted to resign from his judicial position but was denied by the governor. Um, his term was set to expire in a re-election bid. The timing of his death, last day in office, makes it even more heartbreaking. Um, okay. Um, he was the subject of allegations of judicial misconduct and a lawsuit from a former court employee for emotional distress. Those allegations were dismissed for a lack of evidence, but he was still very much in high regard in the community. So he ended his life by suicide in the courtroom, and so yeah. So and I'm not just talking about um, I'm just not talking about first responders and law enforcement, um, judges. I'm talking about EMT workers. I'm talking about EMT workers, ambulance workers, who go out to critical scenes, who go out to critical situations. Okay, okay, and so law enforcement and first responders, ambulance workers, they have to see situations. They have to see situations with their eyes and their ears. Okay. They see situations every day, and as people who work on 988, as people who work on the suicide prevention lifeline, we hear situations. Okay, we hear situations. We hear critical situations that can impact us. Okay, so don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. No, we're here 24/7. Okay, we're here 24/7, and what I'm trying to say here. What am I trying to say? You don't want to hold stuff in. You don't want to hold stuff in. That, and I'm not just talking about law enforcement, first responders. Okay. Talking about everybody. You don't want to hold stuff in. That's the worst thing you can do. Find someone that you trust. Talk to them. Or you can call all us here at 988. We're here 24/7, 365. There's always going to be someone in here. Okay? And so, don't be afraid to reach out. Okay? Again, law enforcement, ambulance workers, they have to see critical situations. They see and hear critical situations every day. Us over here at 988, we hear critical. We have to listen to critical situations every day. Okay, so like someone told me a few days ago, it's a thankless job. It's a thankless job, but if we can save somebody's life, hey, it's a little less of a thankless job. Okay. All right, that's it, and that's all for the Sean Farrell podcast. Happy New Year. May God bless you all. I am out of here.